सामगाः ध्यानावस्थित तद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः इति गीता ध्यानम्। ओम श्री कृष्ण परमात्मने नमः। अतः षोडशोऽध्यायः। श्री भगवानुवाच। So we are in the Charama Shatkam, last 6 chapters, in which the Brahma Vidya taught earlier, the Jnana Yogyata Prapti Sadhana, which was taught later, Ishvara Swarupa, Vishwarupa Swarupa, that was revealed earlier. Atma Swarupa was also revealed in the form of Kshetra, Kshetrajya. So after revealing all this, Krishna comes to chapter 16, in which Krishna reiterates, for me to get Jnana Yogyata, see, I want to live a conflict-free life first. Initially, I want to do some sadhana to live a conflict-free life. Thereafter, when knowledge becomes steady in me, it is called Jnana Nishtha. When it becomes steady in me, what will happen is the values will become spontaneous. Initially, I have to do a little bit of work, a little deliberateness is involved. Let's take the example of somebody who has some vice. He cannot change overnight. Perhaps he can change overnight. I will not say he cannot change overnight. There are people who have changed overnight. But overnight, it is like the graph of economics. A sudden change can also dip and it can come down to a sudden fall. So therefore, the teachers recommend that your growth is slow and steady. That is, the growth should be non-reversible growth. जैसे बचपन से बुढ़ापा. As you grow older, it's not reversible. You can do all this Botox and all those things, but nothing will help. Inside your old is old. You will look younger. So it should be irreversible change. So after having values, I should not suddenly slip down and go back to that zero. Therefore, Krishna reiterates some of the values we should have in our system and follow it diligently, seriously. Okay, and these values have to be understood in two manners. One is called a Samanya value. The other is called Vishesha Dharma. Samanya Dharma, Vishesha Dharma. We have to look at all this. Okay, so we studied the first verse. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. If you have the book, you can refer chapter 16. You get an Anvaya Gita issued by Gita Gorakh Press of Gita Press Gorakhpur, not Gorakhpur. Gita Press Gorakhpur. Well, it's Anvaya Gita. It costs about 150 rupees or something. Each verse will be written in Sanskrit. The Sandhi Vichhed will be given and the word meanings will be given. The only condition is it's all in Hindi. But very simple meanings are given. It is very useful for chanting. If you want, you can invest in that. I'm not having agency for any of this. So you can freely, directly subscribe to Gita Press Gorakhpur and get it from them. So verse number 1. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhihi Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi Dhanam Damascha Yajyascha Swadhyayastapa Arjavam. So we have Abhayam. Abhayam means fearlessness. Okay. Samanya fearlessness. Vishesha fearlessness. When you are in a war field, when you are attending to sick people, that's a separate kind of fearlessness. Samanya fearlessness. Fearlessness doesn't mean that you are foolish enough to venture into areas which are very risky. So, mindful fearlessness. I am not afraid, but I am mindful. Suppose the forces arrayed opposite me are very powerful. I will not take on them singly, or I will not attack them directly. I'm fearless, but I'm also mindful. That is important. So, abhayam. What is sattva samshuddhi? Sattva. Sattva guna. Sattva guna means predominantly my thoughts are what can we do positive, and they are uplifting, motivating, nurturing mental growth. Okay, even if somebody has done me wrong, I don't curse them, but I'll take precaution to see that they don't cheat me again. So sattva samshuddhi is uh, on the one side, on the practical side, I am a sensible, mindful person with regard to all my activities. So before I leave home, I will lock the door. Okay, when I leave the car somewhere, I will see that it is carefully locked and not left under no parking sign or something like that. I will lock my car. I'm very careful about my bank account, my cash, my electronic equipment. This is a transactional shuddhi. Now move it up to a religious, spiritual shuddhi. I will not do adharma. Spiritual. It can even come down to transaction. But going above transaction, I go to spiritual and religious life and spiritual. I will not do any adharma. I will not even think of doing something wrong. So we have a person called Arjun. See, when among the Pancha Pandavas, they say Yudhishthira is a dharmatma. But a lot of scholars feel it is Arjun who is truly a dharmatma. When Arjun was told, the only way to kill Bhishma is you have to make him lower his hands. He should not hold a weapon in his hand. If he has a weapon in his hand, you cannot defeat Bhishma. You have to make him lower his hands. How to make him lower his hands? He will he will not fight any other person other than a Kshatriya. So they put a transgender in front of him. Shikandi. So when Shikandi was ready to fight, the Bhishma said, I will not fight. So Arjun said, now this is the time, fight, fire your arrows. Arjun said, how can I do? He's not even fighting. How can I kill? Look at the dharmic thought. He's not saying he's my grandfather, therefore I cannot kill. Saying the fellow is nihatta, he's put down his arms. How can I kill him? So Krishna had to persuade him and say, Bhishma is on the side of adharma, so उसकी उनकी हत्या करना ही उचित है. You have to do, otherwise you cannot win this dharma yuddha. Similarly, when Karna was to be killed, Karna was on the floor. Arjun said, this person he's not armed and he's on the floor. How can I fire arrow at him? He said, no. He is an adharmi. When Abhimanyu was in this position, he did not care for all this. When your Draupadi was being humiliated in the Rajya Sabha, this fellow didn't do anything. He was party to it. He was encouraging the whole thing. This is adharma, atatai, you can kill him. So it was Arjun who was constantly dharmic. So in the religious and in the spiritual life, you are dharmic spontaneously. You will not do things wrong. You will not pay bribe. You will say, koi baat nahi, I'll wait in the queue. Transactions some people pay, but this person is, he'll say, no, sorry, he can even say, please, I will come every day if you want, but I will not pay bribe. So that's kind of samshuddhi, sattva samshuddhi, sattva guna predominant, shuddhi is purity, samshuddhi, very well purified, abhayam sattva samshuddhi, jnana yoga vyavastitah. He has abiding knowledge. And even if he doesn't have abiding knowledge, he is committed to jnana yoga. He is committed to Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam. He will study under a teacher. He will continue studying for a long time. He will not give excuses for staying away from class. No excuses. He says, I am committed. I will attend all classes. Not only will I attend, I will reflect on what was taught to me and I will write it down. Where in doubt, I will call up the teacher and we'll have a exchange. Jnana Yoga, all aspects of Jnana Yoga, he will follow. Jnana as his commitment to knowledge is called Jnana Yoga Vyavastiti. It is an arrangement, Vyavastha. Well, it's a perfect arrangement for pursuing knowledge. Then, Dhanam Damascha Yagyascha. He is charitable by nature. Charity doesn't mean give everything you have, but give. The attitude of giving is charity. Dhanam can be, in one of the earlier chapters, Krishna has said, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. Patram means leaf. Pushpam Phalam Toya means water. So you can give any one of them. Yo me bhaktya prayachati. You have to give it with bhakti. You give him a huge amount of cash with no bhakti. No, they don't want it. You give 1 rupee. Even don't give anything. You say, Swamiji, I want to give, but I cannot. It's perfectly okay. I want to give, but I cannot give. That itself is intellectual honesty is that. So you can do seva. That is also a kind of charity. And jnana yoga, jnana yajna, many of us teach. It is a dhanam because it is called jnana yajna. It is an austerity. It is something like an offering to a large group of people without expecting anything in return. It's an offering. So, dhanam, dhamma. Dhamma is mass control of sense organs. Dhamma. Yagyascha. Yagyascha is an offering. Havan karna. In a big way. Yagya. Dhanam, dhamascha, yagyascha. Swadhyayastapa arjavam. Swadhyaya means self-study also. I teach and I also study. Very important before teaching, I have to study. Today for a class at 5:30, I have to spend at least 3-4 hours of minimum 3 hours of study. I have to compare notes. I have to see what I have written. What is my understanding of the subject? That reinforces and reaffirms my study. Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya. Study yourself before you teach. Like even anybody who's a school teacher, college teacher, any teacher, they first have to study today's portions. Otherwise, you will never be able to teach properly. Swadhyaya. Anam damascha yagyascha adhyayastapa arjavam. Tapa is austerities. Yagya is offering. Tapa is austerity, fasting. Then physically and physiologically exceeding or overreaching yourself. One day I will do upavas. 2 days a month I will do upavas. Ekadeshi upavas I will do. Okay, on Gita day, there's a Gita Jayanti day we celebrate. That day all of us gather and we chant 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. And then relay, because one person cannot chant 8. So chapter 1 I finish, another person will start 2. The other person will do 3. We have 6 people. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then it comes back to me. So we do Gita relay chant. And then on Diwali, on Shivaratri, we do throughout the night Om Namah Shivaya chanting in relay. First one group will chant for about 40 minutes. Then another group will take over. Then another group will go on throughout the day. No upava. It will be after morning, some fruits. There will be no food till midnight. Then Nevedya and then Prasad. So these are called tapa. Going barefoot. Walking all the way. In Tamil Nadu, there are people who walk from cities to Palani to Tirupati. There's a person who said, sir, once a year I walk from Chennai to Tirupati, all the way, barefoot. It is called tapa. Arjavam. Thought, word, deed, alignment. The word Arya is not a caste name. It is a name of this guna, Arjavat, Arya. It is not that he was in Mongolia, he came, invaded India, and Patani who wrote all this. Okay. So Aryan means one who is aligned in thought, word, and deed. धर्म के बारे में सोचता है, धर्म बोलता है, धर्म करता है, that person is called an Aryan. Arjavad, that quality is called Arjavam. Remember chapter 13 we studied some values. Arjavam would have come there also. It's a repeat. Yeah. Now let's go to the next verse. Ahimsa satyam त्यागः शान्तिरपैशुनम् अहिंसा सत्यमक्रोधः त्यागः शान्तिरपैशुनम् दया भूतेषु लोलुप्त्वम् मार्दवम् ह्रीरचापलम् अहिंसा सत्यमक्रोधः त्यागः शान्तिरपैशुनम् दया भूतेषु लोलुप्त्वम् मार्दवम् ह्रीरचापलम्. Okay? Ahimsa, the word is known. Ahimsa means non-injury, non-violence by thought, word, deed. Okay. So we have to understand ahimsa very carefully. We can't practice ahimsa in a haphazard manner. वो भी कुछ भी करे तुम सहते जाओ. That is not ahimsa. So therefore, that is a samanya dharma. Generally, I would like to be non-hurtful. I will not think ill of others. I will not hurt you by words. I will not hurt you by my action. I will align myself to dharma when it comes to my actions, especially with people, with plants, with animals. Okay. Let's say I'm giving you a talk on ahimsa and a mosquito fever and I talk on ahimsa. This can happen. So there is one samanya value. There is something called Vishesha Dharma. Suppose you are a policeman and you have to quell a riot. You are in the border and there is an attack by the armed forces, some neighbors, some invading forces. What will you do? I am ahimsavadi. It doesn't work like that. So if your Vishesha Dharma calls for you to be physically himsak, then you have to do that. Okay, as a soldier, as a policeman, as a security guard, as a person in charge of security, as a person who is protecting his own family. My family is dependent on somebody wants to hurt my family members. Ahimsa, bhai, aap kuch bhi kar lo, hum kuch nahi karenge. That is not ahimsa. That is not ahimsa. So, not hurting somebody willfully, not hurting somebody for my selfish ends. There are so many things we do which we can avoid. Hurtful speech can be first avoided. Hurtful speech. See, sometimes it happens. All of us, we slip up. When we slip, you remember not to repeat that mistake. So there's one person I know very well. The person one day said, I'm looking at a new house. So what should be the response? Oh, I'm happy for you. Where is it? Is it convenient? Does it suit you? I don't know what mood was there for me that day. I said, you are a rich person, you can afford all this. So unwittingly, I heard the person. The person said, I was giving you information. Why do you say like that? I said, what did I say wrong? I was defending myself. What did I say wrong? The person said, no, I was a little hurt. I said, only said you are rich, you can buy. That you are rich, you can buy, it was not said in a happy note. It was as though sarcastic. Like, I come and tell you, I am buying my 5th car. So some people say, hey, you have so much money. Even your bathroom plumbing is made out of gold. Why 5th car? You can buy 500th car also. Tinge of some sarcasm. So it can happen. Even without realizing, you would have committed hinsa. So what do? Ishvara May I be mindful in speech. May I not be hurtful in speech. Okay, we can always say. See, sometimes in our Vedanta group, okay, we have a number of people, no? And about 15, 16, 17 people are there in our group. Suppose some people don't come, regulars don't come. I can put now people who are not interested, my name will be removed. Okay, hurtful, no? They said there were so many reasons for which they could not come. Whereas if I call them and say, I would like, I missed you, you have not been coming for 2 days, any particular problem you are having. So it is called Mrita Bhashanam. Mrita Bhashanam, Mita Bhashanam. Sweet words. Meetable. Okay, that is important. Arjavam. Also, we just talked about. So, ahimsa. Ahimsa is non-violence. Okay, then Satya. Satya means truthful speech. So somebody said sometime, yeah, 2 days ago somebody called me. And they said, sir, you spoke about Satya. So there is a story. There is a goat running away, and the butcher is chasing the goat. And the goat comes to a sadhu kind of person and says, this person is trying to kill me, please protect me. And goes and hides. And this man comes. He says, there is my goat. He says, there it is. Goat says, why didn't you prove? He said, no, I am a Satyavadi. I cannot do that. So is he right or wrong? Okay. So here also in Satyam, they say there is something called Samanya Dharma, Vishesha Dharma. So suppose this sadhu had said, I don't know where the goat is. It is not asatyam because he has done it to protect a life. So that way, it calls for very subtle, interpretation is very barik in the sense of refined, subtle nuances are there. तो बड़ी बारीकी से इसको विवेचन करना पड़ता है. Satyam. There are so many situations where I thought telling the truth was not okay. Somebody is in ICU and his parents, his dependents are asking, how is he? Will he recover? No, John, already this has happened. Edema, the brain has swollen. Any time he can go. He's saying Satyam, but is it worth it? Therefore, in Satyam, there are three other lines. Satyam Vada, Hitam Vada, Priyam Vada. All three should be ticked. I should speak the truth. I should speak it in a pleasant manner, and I should speak it in your favor. Satyam Vada, Hitam Vada, Priyam Vada. All three qualifications are essential. Okay, this is how I look at Satyam. Okay, suppose you ask me practically how will I implement? Okay, we'll give you practical tips. You can practice right now. One is called lie, falsehood. The other is called a bluff. In falsehood, you may perhaps get a benefit. Whereas in bluff, you get no benefit except some ego rise. So ego is pushed up a little. You are standing in the queue, okay? And then you are want to buy some ticket for entry into some place, and some celebrity is passing by. You say, you know what? The celebrity stopped and said, Are sir, you have come, I will get you a ticket. And he gave me a ticket. This fellow would have anyway got a ticket. And he said, celebrity gave me. Who is benefited? And the fellow who says the celebrity is, the fellow to whom this fellow says about celebrity, that fellow may even be laughing and say, Jhoot badhiya bolta hai. But he may not take him seriously. So cut out all this bluff you cut out. Any kind of lie which only boosts your ego, cut it out first. The other things we can handle. So smaller things you cut out. The bigger ones we have to handle with a lot of care. And you have to understand why you should speak the truth. Okay? What is the value for honesty? Why should you be honest? In me, every human being, there is a knower, there is a doer. gets a clear faculty. The knower, when he knows, he is not a doer. When he is a doer, he is not a knower. It may happen very quickly one after the other. Knowing faculty is separate, doing faculty is separate. Now, suppose you are in the habit, I will not say you, somebody is in the habit of lying regularly. It becomes a habit. You will never be able to speak the truth easily thereafter. It becomes a well settled habit. It does a more serious damage. The serious damage is because there is a knowing faculty, there is a doing faculty. The knowing faculty knows what to do, doing faculty is doing right the opposite. Crossed wires all the time. So therefore there is a danger. There is a split in my own personality thought process. Split personality need not be a psychological case. Ordinary life itself, I can be a split personality. I can never appreciate good things. Okay, I cannot stand others' joy. I become a split personality. And I'm never happy being alone. I need some kind of outlet. The biggest problem is because of constant lying and this becoming a habit, one faculty dies. The knowing faculty dies when the person gets old. That's the result. Alzheimer's disease and all these things come. Alzheimer's. One faculty, either knowing faculty or doing faculty will die. That means you know a lot of things, you can't do anything. Your hands and things like that won't function. You will be doing a lot of things, but there is no knowing faculty. You know why you are doing what you are doing. It's a split. It is like you want to get up on time, 6 o'clock. We have a morning meditation at 6 o'clock. We have 5:30 evening meditation, evening satsang. If you are a split personality, you will take a sankalpa. I have to go to satsang at 5:30. Who is deciding this? Knowing faculty. What will the doing faculty come and say? Yaar, badhiya film they are showing on TV. Why are you wasting time in this satsang? Anyway, recording will be available tomorrow. What has happened? Split has. You decide something, you do something against. Now, suppose this becomes a regular habit. You cannot decide anything. Somebody says, would you like to have coffee or tea? Coffee, tea, coffee. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. And the other person says, yeah, I would like to do something better. Saying it doesn't make a big difference. That is out of will. But if you're split, you don't know whether you want coffee or tea. After ordering coffee, you see the other person having, no, I wish I had ordered tea. So it splits your, this antakarana. It destroys your antakarana. So satyam akrodaha. Satyam akrodaha. Akrodaha means a certain control. I can say, okay, we can say control. Managing your anger. Anger management. Somebody once come and told me, sir, I'm getting angry, what to do? And somebody had advised him, don't be angry. He became even more angry. He became angrier. Because anger never consults you. Does it consult you? Check karte hain, okay? If all of you are ready, I will count 1, 2, 3. And at the end of 3, you should be angry. Okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Is anybody angry? You're all smiling to yourself and maybe even laughing. How can I be angry, sir? Meaning, anger is not will based. It happens. It happens because right from childhood, so many things have been pushed under the carpet, So many disappointments. So many disappointments. Disappointments keep happening. You go, you're standing in the queue, and just as you approach the queue, they say, over, sir. You're disappointed. Where does that actually you feel like crying? But what do? It's okay. You push it inside. Then somebody deliberately put there's one samosa available, and there's another person standing behind you. That person is and this person has some understanding. So when you come and say, sorry sir, samosa is over, but when you go away, samosa is given to the other person. You say, samosa, where did it come from? All this is hurt, guilt, all this go into the subconscious. It's like a carpet under which you're brushing all things. So one day after so many days, you take out the carpet and start dusting. What will happen? All the dust will go inside, you will sneeze. In the same way, anger is all disappointment stored inside. They don't go away. They are taken to the next Janma also. In previous Janma, somebody did something, I have heard this. Nothing happened to me. I don't know if it happened. In previous Janma, somebody gave me a thappad. I am carrying the hurt in this Janma also. Somebody stole money from me in my previous Janma. Somebody cheated me in my previous Janma. I am carrying it in this Janma. It is possible. Therefore, when I say akrodha, I have to understand the reality of krodha. And some trigger, the krodha will come out. How to control? You cannot control krodha. Understand it clearly. So what is akrodham? You take a resolution. I will not display anger in a hurtful manner. I am angry with you. I will not display in a hurtful manner. If I had at any point of time displayed, I will call up and apologize. I am sorry, it's my fault. Forgive me. I will try to change in future. We can make interesting games of it. So before saying something in anger, you can say, I will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Anger gone, I will speak. Okay. Or I can even tell other people, look, I don't want to speak now because in anger I can say something which I will regret, you will also regret. There's a good friend who always says this. Very often some quarrel takes place. And that person will say, no, I'm very angry now. If I speak, I will say something hurtful. So I don't want to speak. And he said, no, 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 you have to speak, you have to speak, you have to speak. The person will get even more angry. So anger is, you say, I cannot stop the progress of anger, but I can always control its manifestation. I will not hurt anyone, either myself or anybody else, out of anger. So these are some steps. You can also do, when you're very angry, you get some old dirty clothes and start washing them with your hand. Go for a brisk walk. Don't drive. Go for a brisk walk. Play a game which is physically very demanding. Sing songs. Sing all these angry songs, sad songs. Get the thing out in a manner which is not hurtful to anyone. In fact, in one exclusive program on anger management, I suggested two solutions. I said, have a 3-towel therapy. So you're very angry, I don't have that color. So let's say you have a red napkin pulled on your face. So I am angry. Okay. After some time, anger is subsiding. Take an orange towel, put it on your head. Now anger is gone, you put a green towel and take it off. Everybody laughed. So next day, one fellow calls me up and says, sir, in our area, towel sales has increased very much after listening to you. So you can convert it into a game. You can convert it into, you're very angry with somebody and you want to say all the worst things. Please don't say, write it down in a piece of paper. One piece, more piece, whole notebook. At the end of the day, tear up the paper or burn it up. Or tear up into bits, put it in that gas balloon, helium balloon, and let it fly. So there are so many ways to manage anger. We'll do an exclusive program on anger management. So Satyam, Akrodaha, Tyagaha. Tyagaha is, they use the word renunciation, the capacity to sacrifice. I'm right and you are wrong. But by proving that I am right and you are wrong, there is no benefit. So what do? Okay, I don't even tell, okay, you are right. Keep it like that. Mentally, I tell myself that by proving the person wrong now, there is no benefit to either of us. So what do? I can at best say, look, there are certain issues in which my views are different from your views. So let's not get into a wasteful argument. Tyaga. You can give up so many things. And as you grow older, you can declutter your house. Just look at your house, how much of wasteful stuff you are having. Declutter. Give away. Anything you have not used for 6 months, give it away. Don't give torn clothes, give new clothes. If you have new clothes, Beneath their small holes, darn them, iron them, wash them, give them. Books donate to libraries. So Tyaga. A capacity to Dhanam, Tyaga is much stronger than that. A spirit of sacrifice. Okay, Tyaga. Shanti. Naturally, when you control anger, when you have Tyaga, you will have Shanti, tranquility. Very often we say peace of mind. Shanti is peace of mind. A non-conflicting, non-agitated inner leisure. You have the capacity to be objective. You have the capacity to look at things as they are. That is called Shantihi. Apaishunam is a very, very lovely word. Very lovely word. Okay. How often do you catch yourself? When I say yourself, I am not naming anyone. Generally. How often do you catch yourself slandering others? Slandering others means speaking ill of others. Somebody has come from abroad to visit your town. They have visited the others, but they have not come to your house. They have come to your same building, ground floor, but they have not come to your house. And they didn't call and apologize also. They have gone away. And you come to know through some posting in some social media platform. What's your reaction? What's your reaction? Those days you needed me, therefore you came. Now you don't need me anymore, therefore you don't come. Do you know what is the problem the other person has faced? We don't know. So without knowing, you talk ill of the other person. That is called slander. So somebody, very often they say, the fellow, there are people, even among educated people, there are people, they are called kleptomaniacs. I knew a person who loved pens. He doesn't like buying pens. He always used to steal pens. There are people who go to book fair to steal books. What do you tell them? Thieves, liars. He said something like a disease inside. They need your empathy. So rather than call a person a thief, he's a liar, he's a thief, change the expression. Say he's inclined to lying. He is inclined to steal. Well, now the person is gone. So those days when I got to know that this person is coming home, I always have a number of pens, one, two, like about 3, 4 pens. When I know the person is coming, I'll put it inside locked armory. The person will come straight to my desk only. Something will be lying around. Okay. So when you talk about apaishunam, it is not talking ill of people. Absence of slander. Don't talk ill of people around you. Around you, known people, unknown people, don't talk. Okay. Deliberately don't talk. And you can possibly say, we don't know what is their compulsion and things. Again, there is a samanya, there is a vishesha. So in some places, slander has to be countered, when the other person slanders. So when Shishupala was born with, I think, one or two extra hands and one extra eyes. So when Krishna saw him and took him in his lap as a cousin, his eye fell off and 2 hands fell off. He became a normal human. So his mother was told that whoever touches the boy and this thing happens, that fellow will do vada of this fellow. Vad kar dega iska. So the mother did not tell this to Krishna. She told Krishna, Krishna, I want you to make a promise. If my son does anything wrong, forgive him. Okay, so Krishna said, why only once? I will forgive him 1,000 times. So in a Rajya Sabha, when Yajna was going on and Krishna was called as the chief guest, then this Shishupal started abusing him. And then everybody, Bhima and Arjuna around, he said, come, it's my problem. Why are you people getting agitated? Let him go, let him go, let him go. And finally, when he came to 995, Krishna said, so many faults I can forgive. Then he said, 3 more I can forgive. Only 1 more I can forgive. And when that was told, boom, came the Sudarshana Chakra. And the Sudarshana Chakra beheaded Sishupala. So when you say Apaishunam, you don't say, but whenever somebody slanders you, you have to take appropriate measures. Okay? So Shanti, Apaishunam. Bhuteshu Daya. Bhuteshu means all living creatures. Daya. Kindness, that also is another living being. This is the drive behind vegetarianism. I'm not against anybody who eats meat or anything else, but I'm saying, what is the drive behind vegetarianism? And the drive is this. And of course, there are people who are not vegetarian, they will come and say, sir, even plants have life, sir. So you're eating plants. So what do? You eat mud. Then they say, even mud, there is something there. So some, they are called, they are not called, they are kutarkavadi, not tarkavadi. Whatever you do, they have to speak opposite. So, daya bhuteshu, bhuteshu daya is simply is the basis for vegetarianism. I don't hurt. I have daya towards all living creatures, including plants, insects, reptiles. Okay, so I have daya. Daya bhuteshu, kindness to all beings, non-injury to all beings. Okay. Aloluptvam. Loluptvam means temptation. Aloluptvam, I cannot be tempted. Don't say I cannot be tempted easily. I cannot be tempted. Like people who drink, they will never say I don't drink. I don't know why. I'm an occasional drinker. And the drinker will say today is an occasion drink. Say no to the first drink. Say no to the first puff. That is aloluptvam. I am not tempted even to try. Aloluptvam. Mardavam, gentleness. Gentleness is physical action. Gentleness in speech that brute force is never expressed. Gentleness. Hri. Hri means, it is normally said as modesty. Hri means, I feel ashamed of doing wrong action. झूठ बोलने में मुझे शर्म आती है. Okay, to take bribes from somebody, I feel ashamed. I feel ashamed in doing adharma. I feel ashamed. It is called Hri. Then Achapalam. Achapalam means restlessness. Restlessness doesn't come, it is not will based. It happens. It is there. So when there is restlessness, I should know how to calm the mind. There's this calmness. Where is that? Tranquility. If chapalam comes, achapalam comes by shanti, practice of shanti value. If I have to have violent value rises in me, ahimsa comes from daya bhuteshu. So for one value is linked to another value. So we have seen two verses. Third one we will see next week. Let's read the two of them together. Okay. अभयं सत्त्वसंशुद्धिः ज्ञानयोगव्यवस्थितिः दानं दमश्च यज्ञश्च स्वाध्यायस्तप आर्जवम् अहिंसा सत्यमक्रोधः त्यागः शान्तिरपैशुनम् दया भूतेषु लोलुप्त्वम् मार्दवम् ह्रीरचापलम्. So we have seen two verses. Next week we will see Tejas Shamadriti Shaucham Adroho Nati Manita Bhavanti Sampadam Devi Abhijatasya Bharata. Next slide. These are called Devi Sampatti. That which gives you gentleness, growth, maturity. These values will give you that. We will see completed next week and then go to further. Okay. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिं महिषा गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं Loka samastha sukhino bhavantu. Kale varshatu parjanyah. Prithvi sasya shalini. Desho yam chobarahita. Brahmana santu nirbhaya. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Asato ma satgamaya. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Mrityurma amritangamaya. Om purnamada purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate. Purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. There is a small work I want all of you to do. It's your commitment towards Vedanta. See, in our group, there are a number of people, but many of them don't come. There are reasons. Now, when I tell them I have not seen you for long, why are you not coming? They feel a little guilty. And they'll come for 2 days, third day again they'll go back. So I want you to form small self-help groups. I see about 3-4 people who used to be very regular. They have not come. They are not coming now. So it is. Suppose I ask them, do you find my teaching difficult? Do you find something difficult? They say, no, no, sir, everything is okay. Then they will be inclined to lie. No, 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 sir, I am not well. I am in this. Some guests came. All this can always. If there are genuine reasons, I mean, the reasons are always genuine. Okay, they are not. They don't have that openness to come certainly. So if you form your own group, and there are 3-4 people who are constantly attending, you can call the other person. Hey, I didn't see you today. What happened? No, this part I didn't understand. I didn't want to ask questions. Then you ask the question, I will clarify. You ask the question in chat box, I will answer the questions. So that brings me to another subject. Anyone wants to talk and clarify, you have some shaya which needs a little nivrti, you can always message and take a little time. I will take extra, it's not extra effort. It's my commitment to explain and help you resolve this samshaya. Have a wonderful week. Guru Kripa Ishwara Anugraha. We'll meet next week again. Om Jai Shri Krishna. Om Namah Shivaya.
Thank you, sir.
Om.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.